Hi, my name is Cheyenne Kozaily. I am the founder and chief language consultant for Bilingual Familia Consulting and International School, also known as Lingua, and I've lived in Richmond Hill for 3 years. My involvement in the community is once we had moved to Richmond Hill and I started to see a lot of international people and different languages being spoken here, and becoming a mother 2 years ago, it made me realize that all these communities, including myself, we really needed more bilingual programs for ourselves and our children. I was employed somewhere in town and I was trying to begin bilingual initiatives and bilingual programs for families, and I was laid off after a few months, being told that the programs just weren't successful, they weren't popular, there wasn't enough interest to keep the job going. And so at that point I ended up becoming an unemployed mother, and I needed to be able to provide something for my family, but at that point I had been a work-at-home, stay-at-home mother up until that point, and I didn't want to give that up. And so I made a few adjustments and I started Lingua. But a month into it, I was offered a job of being a Spanish teacher in town and directing the Spanish program there. And at that point I had a big choice to make, because I could have taken the very comfortable route of a good salary and great benefits, but I would have had to give up being home with my son, and I would have had to have given up Lingua, and I really believed in what I was doing. And so I decided to take the gamble, not knowing whether Lingua was going to be successful or not, and at the same time being able to stay home with my son. And I'm really glad I did, because I've had so much time with him, and I've been able to provide all these bilingual programs for families that before had nothing to go to. I know that everyone says this, but I really have to say that my son is truly my inspiration. From getting out of bed in the morning when I don't feel like it and I'm still tired, to starting Lingua and having these programs to support his 3 languages that he's learning. And if I can do that for other families too, that's just what it's all about for me. I think that I have to say my most rewarding experience is just each day watching my son progress in all 3 of the languages that he's learning. When I hear him put a sentence together in a language that I don't even really speak that well, or when I hear him able to be as good as he is in all 3 languages that he knows right now, only at 2 years old, I have to say that's amazing, and I just hope that I can do the same thing for other families. For Lingua in Richmond Hill, I would just like to see any professional or family or individual that in any way needs a second language skill or just wants a second language skill to get the help and the expertise and the advice that they need. And any family that is already bilingual, I would love to see them be able to continue through the generations with their bilingualism, so that the kids aren't growing up losing their heritage and language. For the near future, I'd love to see businesses, individuals, and professionals get the translation services that they need. And one of my biggest dreams in the next 2 to 3 years is that I would love to see a bilingual preschool and a bilingual elementary school in the area. First of all, I want to thank all of my supporters, my private language coaching students. I'd like to thank the mothers and families that have supported me from the beginning, coming to story time, coming to play groups, coming to the language classes, coming to consultations. And the reason that I came up with the slogan, Lingua is for families who want más, is because I've always said that whatever you have, whatever you can give to your community, your business, your children, your family, you should give them. If you have $1 million, your kids should have $1 million. If you have Spanish ability, your kids should have the Spanish ability, whether it's 5 words, 10 words, or fluency in the language. And I just want to be here as a resource to anyone who needs more support and more expert advice in giving their children everything they can for the future.